Oh, it's so good. This is so good. Today we're gonna make a gluten-free coconut pumpkin loaf. It's delicious. I love it. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be great. Really, really simple. We have here gluten-free flour. This is about 1.25 cups of gluten-free flour. I used an all-purpose gluten-free flour, Bob's Red Mill, but use whatever you like. We're gonna do everything all in one bowl because that's what I wanna do. We also have here coconut sugar right in. This is probably about 1/4 cup of oats. You don't have to use oats if you don't want to. You can always just sub 1/4 cup more flour. I just like the texture. The great thing about this pumpkin loaf is it's nice and sturdy. It doesn't just melt away, and it also does not taste super sugary, which is really, really nice. It's super pumpkinish, which is what we want. So what we have here, a combination of nutmeg, cinnamon, and ground ginger. Use about 1 teaspoon of each one. It might seem like a lot, but it's good, it's important. It's good for flavor. We've also got 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and baking powder. And you know what else we got? We got salt, because everything sweet needs a little salt. And so that is really it for our dry ingredients. You can kind of see based off what our flour, our dry mixture looks like, that this is gonna be such a beautiful, gorgeous color. This is about 1/3 cup of coconut milk. Now I use canned coconut milk because full fat is best. It makes things unctuous and distinct and rich in flavor, but it's up to you. If you don't wanna do that, you don't have to. You can use any kind of milk you want. I've tested this recipe with oat milk, delicious. Almond milk, scrumptious. Regular milk, awesome. I just personally really love the coconut. I think coconut and pumpkin go really, really nice together. And this is, after all, a gluten-free coconut pumpkin loaf. Okay, so we're gonna mix that in. We're all gonna do it in this one thing. I know it's like, oh, you gotta have 2 different bowls, and the dry and the wet. Normally that's the case, but this one really comes together in one bowl so nicely. So here we've got coconut oil. You don't have to use coconut oil. If you wanna use a canola oil, that's your business. Okay, we've also got 2 eggs. If you wanna make this vegan and don't wanna use eggs, I have tested this with chia eggs. It's okay, it's just okay. I have tested this with flax eggs. I've had better. It's not terrible, but it's not as delicious as if you were just using regular eggs. So for those who wanna know, is it possible to do this recipe vegan with a chia egg or a flax egg? Absolutely. Is it as scrumptious? I don't think so. You be the judge. For the pumpkin part of our pumpkin loaf, throw this in. This is a cup, not to be confused with a can. See, they get you sometimes with the pumpkin loaf recipes because you just in your mind think 1 can of pumpkin. No, only 1 cup. No pumpkin pie filling. Be careful when you're buying this canned pumpkin, okay? You think in your mind that you're buying canned pumpkin puree, but you're actually buying pumpkin pie filling, which can I tell you, listen, I don't wanna judge whoever is responsible for manufacturing pumpkin pie filling in a can. It's not good. I think they gotta go back to the drawing board. That's all I'm gonna say on that. If you've got yourself a cup of steamed pumpkin and you wanna go ahead and toss that in here, please. Do it. You got yourself a cup of sweet potatoes. Steamed sweet potato, about 1 cup. You wanna toss that in there? You got yourself a gluten-free coconut sweet potato loaf, and that's delicious. I have done this with butternut squash, steamed pumpkin, steamed sweet potato. It works. The one thing I'll tell you is you've just gotta make sure that it is really good and steamed. Like mush, like baby food mush. Unless it's that steamed, could be problematic when you put it in the oven. That's why I like to err on the side of safety. Just get a can of pumpkin puree. First off, look at the color. I mean, gorgeous. We're gonna toss in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Some things that would elevate this even more. A little bit of orange zest right now. Ooh, party, that's delicious. A little bit of crystallized ginger, game on. If you're a nut fan, I like nuts sometimes. Did I just accidentally make a nut joke? I like nuts sometimes in my loaves. This particular one, I really wanted to try to make nut-free, particularly because so many people are like, so nut-free? Is it nut-free? Is it nut-free? When I was doing the swaps for this recipe, a lot of people wanted it to be nut-free. So I worked really hard to make this one nut-free. However, if you're a nut fan, little almond flour, delicious. Little almonds mixed in, scrumptious. Pecans, walnuts. All right, so we got some little cute little yabadoo loaf cuties here. Now, if you wanted to use smaller loaf pans, do it. Now, I'm using a spray here just to make this easier. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do as I do. I'm just gonna go in with my fingers and just make sure this is nice and coated. You gotta make sure they're coated. You don't want your coconut pumpkin loaves to stick. If you wanted to use a little coconut oil, it's fine. So we're gonna go in. There's really no good way to do this. I mean, we're just gonna go in. This loaf will rise. This is 2 good-sized loaves, this recipe. I have definitely doubled this recipe and it yields 4 loaves beautifully. Oh gosh, do you see the mess I'm making? Right in. Ooh, gorgeous. We don't want to skimp. We want to make sure we get these loaves nice and filled. Yum, yum, yum. I'm gonna come over with wet hands and just sort of flatten this out. It's gonna help our loaves just look nice and smooth when they bake. Like I said, you're gonna get a rise on this loaf. It's so beautiful, oh my gosh. Getting your hands wet really helps smooth the top down without it sticking. See how I can just go like this and flatten it on the top and there's nothing on my fingers? Always gotta bang your loaf pan down so that it's a nice and even situation station. What we're gonna do, just sort of clean off the top of our loaves here, and then we're gonna sprinkle with pumpkin seeds. Now you should, at this point, have your oven 350 preheated. Do not ever put anything in a cold oven. Please don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. Pumpkin seeds on top. Ooh, how cute are they? Oh my God, they're so cute. These are just regular old sprouted pumpkin seeds. You wanna decorate with some walnuts, some almonds, a little zest on top. Like I said, that's your business. I really wanted to keep this nut-free for y'all, but if you like nuts and you rocking and rolling with nuts, I'm rocking and rolling with that too, okay? So here's our cute little pumpkin loaves. I would put them in the oven, but there's 600 million things in the oven. Wow, I think everything that could exist in this oven is in it. So we got our gorgeous pumpkin loaves. Now we're gonna put them in the oven. All right, gorgeous, lovely. They're gonna cook for a while. You're gonna put them in the oven for about 50 minutes. You wanna make sure you put a knife in, it comes out clean. You know about the toothpick trick, the knife trick, all that stuff. We do this at 350 for 50 minutes. It almost kind of makes your pumpkin loaf, it's a good word. Do I not know words anymore? I'm tired, like fuck. So you're gonna put those in the oven for about 50 minutes at 350. That low temperature is really gonna help those sugars develop and make your loaf so yummy, rich, good dense. 350, 50 degrees, ain't even a thing. 350 for 50 minutes. There's nothing worse than when you get like some pumpkin bread and it's dense but dry, right? You want dense, but you want dense and moist. So as you can see here, we have our beautiful, gorgeous loaf. See the rise on that? There's a little bit of a rise on that. Delicious, with our pumpkin seeds on top, so scrumptious. And I'm telling you, when you get that pan nice and oiled up, they slide right out. They slide right out. So now we're gonna cut into our loaf. Beauty, oh my gosh. Oh, you are stunning. Gonna cut a few pieces here. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, so good. Just sort of arrange our situation station on top of our pretty little cake station. Look at that, it's gorgeous. Isn't that so pretty? Okay, this is coconut cream. So here's the deal with coconut cream. You can buy a whole can of coconut cream. You can absolutely do that. Or you can buy a can of just regular coconut milk and put it in the refrigerator. And what's gonna happen is that cream's gonna settle on the top. So you're just gonna open up the can. That yummy cream is what's gonna be on top. It's so, 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 so good. Here's the deal. I'm gonna zest a little bit of orange on top of this. And then I'm also gonna zest some orange right into our cream. But here's the deal, even if you don't put the orange zest in the loaf, you can absolutely zest it into the coconut cream. And then, so we're gonna cut open this orange and we're gonna squeeze this orange into this coconut cream. Yum. We're gonna stir this up. Now it's real chunky, and like I said, full fat is it. You want this to be a full fat moment. See that? Now it's getting nice and liquidy with the orange juice. As much orange juice as this kind of gets nice and drizzly. We want a nice drizzle situation. So like I said, we got coconut cream, we got orange juice, yum. We got orange zest, and we got just like a drop or two of stevia, right? Oh my gosh, yum. And then what we're gonna do is we are just gonna drizzle this situation station right over our pumpkin bread. Ooh, and it's just, oh my gosh, yum. And if you make a mess, that means you're doing it right. It really does. So we're also gonna take some candied citrus right on top. Oh my gosh. We've made a gluten-free coconut pumpkin bread. I don't know, what is this? Like some kind of, I don't know what this is. You guys tell me. Like, tell me you don't want this. Really? How cute is this? Like, are you kidding? If you wanted to, you could do this entire drizzle thing You don't even need to cut the bread. You could do it just on this loaf. But I just think it's really beautiful to kind of like have it kind of cut like that. So gorgeous. I'm gonna take a bite without any goodness on it. It's so good. This is so good. I don't want to mess up my pretty little cut cake stand situation. So I'm just gonna like create a bite. A little bit of candied citrus. 2 kinds of candied citrus I made. I made 2 kinds because I love you and you're that special. Man, you know what this is? It's like icing. It's like coconut cream icing, the citrus. This is so fucking delicious. My hope is that you will make at least one of these elements, whether it's this really quick sort of coconut cream icing, candied citrus, pumpkin loaf. All these elements are so delicious, especially this coconut cream trick. I mean, this is like the quickest, easiest sort of like, look at how beautiful and like velvety and like gorgeous. You could do this with lemons, you could do it with lime, and it really makes a difference in the pumpkin bread. It's like, whoa, so good. Also, it further makes this gluten-free coconut pumpkin loaf a coconut pumpkin loaf. You know what I'm saying? It's so good, it's all she wrote. Dude, look what I made. Isn't this amazing? I made that.